Welcome back to the Thought Safari. I'm Jason.
And I'm Devin.
And I'm an incorporeal floating head in space.
Hey, you kind of are. This show is a non-linear, unfiltered exploration of people and their thoughts. Today, we have a special guest. So he helped us with all the graphics for the podcast. Well, yeah, there he goes with his really fancy hands under his fancy, sexy face. You have really supple skin, I feel like.
I appreciate that because I was really worried with this ring light on that you would be able to see every imperfection of my skin, including my very
it looks entirely perfect.
Choppy mustache.
No, it looks great. You look like a porcelain doll of sorts.
Thank you. It's because I don't go outside. Let's talk about how Jason, on his third date with a woman, called me.
Oh, I did, yeah.
On the date.
Elaborate.
He video called me. So it was my birthday, which was recently. And so instead of just shooting me a text or calling me before the date or any of the logical things you could do, maybe even after the date, because he still texted me after the date. I assume it was after the date, unless she was hanging out next to you in bed and you were still texting me. But
well, that took a turn.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Randy.
But
don't get into our personal life.
Sorry,
on the
I
show.
told you I'm just gonna flame you a little bit.
Third
here.
date.
For real.
This is let's keep this PG, would we?
Honestly.
So Jason calls me on Discord. So for my boomers out there, video and audio call generally, and he's with a woman on his third date with her. And sings happy birthday to me on a guitar he doesn't know how to play.
The new Eric Clapton.
Yeah, and somehow I'm the bad guy?
You know, I was very appreciative. I felt the love. But also, man, as a good wingman, I felt like it wasn't helping your case.
Dude, it totally helped my case, and here's why. So, so it's a good kind of litmus test because I like introducing people I'm dating pretty early on to people that I think are rad. Because I want to see how they react with other people that I think are awesome, and if they could play along with the banter that we have. Because if she can,
which she did,
yeah,
she did.
So
she kept up. She kept up. She was fun.
Yeah, so it's like a litmus test to see how cool she is, and then it's also, so it's to see how cool she is, and then to see if she's going to like me and that other person interacting. Because those are the types of interactions I have. Because I only really surround myself with those types of people just like you, Randy. Just sitting there, milky skin, sitting in the void with a tattoo on your hand that I didn't even know you had.
You didn't know I had tattoos on my hand?
No, I did not know that.
Just two.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I had no idea.
I stick and poked them in college.
Well, it looks amazing.
Can I drink beer on this show?
Yeah, dude, you do whatever the fuck you want.
Cool.
It's a thought safari, man. All right, well, how about instead of doing an intro...
Labels turned in because I'm a professional.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're not sponsored.
I'm impressed
yet.
already. Your lip work is world class.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, we're not. Oh, dude, yeah, he's got it all over there, Randy Dandy. But so first question to you, Randy, for the people to get to know you and what you're all about.
Lay it on me.
What do you know more about than most people on the planet? And it could be something that you... So this kind of generally is answered one of a couple ways. So it's either something that you've done a deep dive into because you just bought a fucking piece of furniture and you know a lot about recliners. Something that you just care very deeply about. But however you want to answer it, floor is yours.
I think I just got to answer RuneScape, man.
Oh.
All about it. You know, I know too much about RuneScape. I think that's a fair bet.
So RuneScape is the thing you know more about. Go ahead, Dev.
I'm going to have
than
to
most
just,
people. Yeah.
For those that were maybe born on another continent, perhaps a little behind the times. Can you spell that?
Ari. I thought you were going to ask me to explain what it was. But that's
I'm going to, but I have to start with a spelling because I'm unfamiliar with the word to begin with. RUNESCAPE. Okay,
Run, escape.
Run, escape.
Dude, wait.
Okay.
So,
because it is so addicting.
And so can you elaborate?
Run and escape it.
Yeah, so wait,
Okay.
hold on really quickly before he gets into anything else. Did you find it really weird? Okay, so I know the word RuneScape. And so he explained it the way he did. If you asked me to spell it, I would have spelled it RUNESC. Yeah. And it's like doing it
Because that's how it's said.
right. But like when he did it in a different cadence, like I almost didn't know what it was. And I play the fucking game. I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, because I just went run, and then I was like, run, escape, run, escape. Okay, got it.
Run, escape. So when they originally made the logo, it said RuneScape, but they had to split it into 2 lines because everybody would just go run, escape. That was a big thing in like the early days. But RuneScape is an old game. I think it came out in 98 or 99, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I've been playing it for almost 20 years. And I am way too excited about it at all times. It's up on my other monitor.
What?
I had to stop playing for this, and that's Jason's fault.
Wow. First of all, I take that very seriously. So thank you for, pausing something you're so passionate about to do this. So for high level, like what kind of game is it? Is it a computer game?
Yeah, PC and mobile. But you click on stuff. Yeah, okay. You click on stuff.
Got it.
And then you make the numbers go up.
Points related.
Big number go up. That's the game.
Everything you do in the game earns you skills. So there's like wood cutting, fishing, smithing. Like there's like all sorts of different things that you need to get. Slayer. Yep. So you get different Slayer tasks. So like basically, so I've played it, and it's effectively for video game people. It's a constant. It is a slot machine that you constantly win. Like everything you do, numbers just go up, and it's like such a big dopamine rush.
And so like, is it by like completing certain tasks that said numbers go up?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm assuming there's certain tasks that give you more points, make the numbers go up more than other tasks.
Yeah.
So is this in the pursuit of this high score? Is this like once I figure out the things that bring me the most points, I just like hone in on them?
You just do them for hours.
What are them? Like what kind of things are we doing to get a lot of points?
Oh man. So you see today, there's a summer event going on. So what I did for, after I finished my work for the day, which, only second to RuneScape, the thing I know the most about is graphic design. But let's be real. We all have our passions in life.
Amen, brother.
So what I did after work today, I walked up to a little fishing hole. I clicked on that fishing hole. I waited for my inventory to fill with fish. And then I clicked again.
And you just kept fishing the same pond.
Yep.
Is there any sort of strategy involved in like finding said pond that delivers the big
it's
fish?
Math and shit like that. You want to kind of mathematically find what's going to be the most convenient and fastest way to get you to where you need to go. A lot of the times you're just looking it up on the internet, finding what the best numbers are, where to get the best numbers. But,
so is this game something that's
fun.
played on like a Jay? Is this game played on like a global scale where like you're competing points compared to other people?
Yeah, it's a MMORPG, massively multiplayer online role playing game.
Right on.
So you know like World of Warcraft?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, usually when someone doesn't know RuneScape, I assume they know World of Warcraft. That's just how it goes. But, it's thousands and thousands of people all playing at the same time. There's leaderboards. I'm not on any of them. That's not how I roll. I like to vibe.
Ooh,
I just vibe.
I love that.
Fish at the fishing hole. You know what I'm saying?
Amen, brother. That's right up Jason's alley.
Dude, it's the best. Well, the other
I got him woefully addicted to it.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was bad for like a month and a half straight there. But like the other thing that's interesting about it is like you can gain like fishing XP, let's just say. Fishing is probably a bad example, but there are ones where like you could basically go AFK away from keyboard for extended periods of time. So like you'll just click something and your little buddy will just keep doing it for a very long time. And then eventually it times out. So like how long can you do any one task?
I think it logs you out after 7 hours, no matter what.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that guy's really getting after it at the fishing hole.
Yeah. So there was a guy who set himself up at an area called Nightmare Zone. Not important. I don't think anybody cares what that means. But so he set it up. So he had a small keyboard on his back while he slept. So every time he like moved around in his sleep, it would just move his camera to keep him logged in. And he stayed there for 7 hours. Just while he went to bed, just let his character do its thing.
That's incredible.
RuneScape players are honestly some of the most hilarious people on the planet because they will always find a way to make something either just so that they don't have to actually play the game or so that they have to play the game harder than anybody else on the planet.
Isn't there a country or something where a bunch of people are making real dollars out of the game somehow?
I was gonna
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
So in Venezuela,
that's out of left field.
In Venezuela, it's worth more money to play RuneScape than it is to get a job.
How? Where does the money come from?
So what they do is they get a couple of computers. They sit in like an apartment and they all just grind one thing, one money-making method in RuneScape. Usually it's Zulrah. Again, not important. No one cares what Zulrah is,
Love it.
But it's a boss. So they sit there and they kill Zulrah all day and they just sell all the items and then they sell all the gold on the internet.
So other people who are playing RuneScape buy what they've won for the purposes of them gaining their points.
Yeah, so essentially this is called real world trading. It's not allowed in the game, but you tell me that they're going to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure. It's like heroin.
There's no way to like find everybody who's real world trading. So they're essentially trading real money to these Venezuelan farmers to buy gold in the game. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Which is fueling the economy of Venezuela. RuneScape is saving lives and pulling people out of poverty.
Right. Well, isn't there also like,
I mean,
could other people log into your account and like grind a skill for you? Is that a thing? Like if you hate fishing, for instance, can you like pay people to just...
Yeah, it's technically like immoral. And I think back in the day, it wasn't okay. The account sharing, I don't think it was allowed. But I don't think it matters so much like anymore. I mean, there's a few accounts that are obviously shared. Like you remember Jason Workless in the guy who did the Gilded Altars. Yeah. That's just a shared account. Some say he's a bot. Not my business. Don't care.
It's just it's one of those things. So I guess my question is like why RuneScape? Is it something that, like, when you were a kid, it was the first game you played? Like, what is it about?
Oh, it was the first game I got woefully addicted to in, like, what was it? Like, 3rd or 4th grade. Everybody in school was just like, you guys hear this game, RuneScape? You should totally, like, log in and do this. And, like, back then, you know, when you're a kid and you play a game, like, you don't really know how to play. You just kind of, like, mess around. So that's how everybody was back then on RuneScape. Every player... pretty much every player was just kind of walking around, talking to people, being a degenerate, exploring the world, not like grinding skills like they are now. But now all those people grew up and they went, well, I've always wanted a max skill on RuneScape. So then they end up getting all of the max skills on RuneScape because they're an adult. They can find the most effective way to get those skills up. And it's just, it's crazy. It's a fun place. There's a huge debate going on whether RuneScape is fueled entirely by nostalgia. For me, it helps. It definitely helps.
Is it like a visually like from a graphic designer standpoint? Is it
terrible?
Graphically not a graphically enticing game.
Oh, it's an ugly game, but in it being ugly, it is awesome. It's beautifully ugly, you know? I'm sure you've seen plenty of stuff out there that just like, you're like, that looks so dumb. And for some reason, I love it. Like
as not a video game guy, not because I have any hatred towards it. It's never been a huge thing. Like when you say that, my mind goes to something like Minecraft where it seems like not very refined graphically.
Yeah, like low poly.
People really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, like low poly. It's I mean, beyond calling it low poly. I don't even know how much more I can insult it. But it is, it was thrown together in like the early 2000s, and you can tell.
Yeah, there is something about like low bitrate games or bit depth games, because just yesterday I had this epiphany that the Nintendo Switch is absolutely elite in every way, and for my money, the best video game system out there. And the reason I feel that way is they're now bringing back all sorts of old games. So they have like era specific and correct controllers. So you can go back to like the original NES controllers. They have Super NES controllers. They have the 64 controller. And then they also, I think, bought Sega, and they have the Sega Genesis controller. And you could play all of the old games using Bluetooth compatible versions of the old controllers, which is just
so cool.
And like when you're watching it, it's like, I don't want to play, because as a guy who played video games his whole life, like I don't want to play the super complicated games. Like I'm into Call of Duty to some extent, but like honestly, there's just too much going on. There's too much of a barrier to entry, and there's something really nice about, I just throw Mario on, and at the end of the day, anybody in the world that has fingers can play it. And even if you don't, you can play it with your toes. Like, it's just easy. There's 2 buttons. It's like jump and maybe do something else. And there's something really wonderful about like the 2D kind of platformy type games where it's like GoldenEye. The graphics are not that great, but I don't want an updated GoldenEye. I want the graphics that I remember from GoldenEye.
Yep.
Hence Randall's like nostalgic aspect of RuneScape.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it has a beautiful simplicity.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so just started playing as a kid and just like still to this day, just love it.
There's a thing that we RuneScape players say, and that's you never quit, you just take breaks. And it's a fact.
Spoken like a true addict.
Correct.
Yeah, for real. We'll do so.
You don't think that I'm going to deny that.
So yeah, are you?
I love it.
Big number go up.
Are you into other types of games? Like what? Like because you said earlier MMO RPG. Like so, could you explain that? Like MMO, is that massive multi? Like what does that stand for?
Massively multiplayer online role-playing games. So that's games like RuneScape, World of Warcraft. I forget the number. There's so many Final Fantasies. There's a Final Fantasy online. There's Lord of the Rings online. There's Guild Wars. There's a million. There's so many. I've played a lot of them because I've always wanted to try to find something that sparked me the same way as like people call their favorite MMO their forever game because you just want to play it all the time, and the other ones just don't work. So I played so many, just trying to mess with a bunch of them. Don't like them as much. RuneScape's the one for me, but everybody has a different one. But I play a lot of different kinds of games, just all over the board. RuneScape's my chill time. Let me open up Steam. I'll walk you through a few things.
So for someone who doesn't play video games, and anyone listening, like, is this a game that like while playing the game, is there any interaction with like other? You say like multiplayer.
Oh, yeah.
I forget all the other words. Like, are you
Massively
interacting with other players that are playing at the same time?
You can. It's global. They're all around you at all times. They're all there. So you can play with them. You don't have to. I play on an account. It's called an Iron Man, which means I can't trade or like really work with other players. So I like to play by myself. That's just how I like to roll.
Right on. It's all about the vibes, babe.
Well, and aren't there though?
Fish.
There are some things that you need another person to accomplish. Because isn't there's some stuff where you have to like trade a specific thing with someone, and you can't have both of the things.
He's referring to Shield of Erev.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah. So yeah, there's certain quests that force you to interact with other players, and they make specific chat rooms to find people to do that quest with. So you just go, "Hey, I need this shield half," and they go, "Cool, I'll be there in 5."
Oh, and Devin, so
and then they literally come and meet you where you are in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, and they get nothing out of it. They're literally just like, hey, does anyone need this other thing? Because I know like you need to do it. So they just like to help people.
Yeah.
Also,
because they need it too.
There's a super fun fact about RuneScape that I absolutely fucking love. And it's that there's this one thing that is a major accomplishment for any player. And it's sort of like, it's definitely a status symbol within the game. In original RuneScape, I have it and Randy does not. The fire cape.
Oh, the fire cape?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good.
How does one
symbol.
acquire this said fire cape?
You have to waste your fucking time.
It's all about the poison blow
There we
darts,
have
baby.
it, folks.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's all it
It
is.
really is all about the poison blow darts.
But yeah, so,
Yeah, no. So to get a fire cape, you have to go through, what is it, 40 waves for Jad, right?
it's something like that. Might be a little
40.
bit more, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember. I haven't done Jad in a while because he pisses me off.
Yeah.
So you have to go through, I believe, 40 waves of this boss fight, which are just get progressively harder until you get to the final fight, which all you have to do is switch between two protections. So he'll attack with magic and then he'll attack with range. And you have to pay attention to how far he leans back. And that'll tell you if he's going to attack with range or magic. And you need to pray that protection that corresponds with how far he leans back.
Holy
While
smokes.
doing that, you need to fight him and fight other enemies that pop up that are trying to heal him, while paying attention to how far he leans back.
Yeah. And the
It
most
makes sense
And
that
that's
Jason
the
has
Jad
this
fight.
then.
Yeah.
It takes roughly an hour to get to that fight. So if you fail that fight, you just lost an hour of your life, and you have to start all
well,
over
and there's
again.
a huge
Unbelievable.
cost. There's a huge cost to even fight him because of the potions you
Yep.
need to have, because
all
of
the
like
potions,
the setup.
all the food. Yep.
Yeah, and then while you're fighting him and while these other dudes are coming around, you also have to consider that you've been playing this for like an hour at this point, and he hits you so hard that typically one blow, if you
Insta-kills
fuck
you.
up, insta-kills
Yep.
you. So like
So you can't mess up.
can't mess up at all. And you've been doing this for an hour, and if you lose, you literally have to go get all those things again and then come back and do it again for an hour, dude. It is so fucked.
What
It's
the flying
it's
fuck?
horrible.
Dude, it's
horrible.
so
It's
fucked.
horrible. So I tried a few times, and then I was just like, I don't even need it. I don't even even
And
wanna do
Jason
this
was like,
anymore.
"No, I'm getting this so I can hang
Jason
it over
spent
Randall's
all
head."
night doing it. He spent all night getting a fire cape. But that is something I love about Jason, his determination in literally
I was just gonna
everything
say.
he does.
Determination is unmatched,
Yep.
even if it means
Yep.
nothing.
Yeah. No.
It's out of
And it didn't
principle,
mean
goddammit.
It doesn't mean nothing. It means I did it and they didn't.
Yeah, dude, it's
Yes,
honestly
well,
That's
100%,
exactly
which is
what it
worth
is.
everything
well,
to
and
Jay.
Yep.
here's the other
Yep.
thing, because Randy is so far ahead of me. And Randy, you would have to explain this, like the math on this. But so Devin, what happens is you max out at level 99 in a skill.
Oh,
But like-
I'm sorry. Did you mean that 92 is halfway there?
Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, dude, exactly. So when you get to level 92, you need the exact amount of like XP that you just gained to get to 92 to get
Yeah.
to 99.
To get to 99. So you got to do it all over
It's
again.
exponentially, like, so it just
Holy
takes you,
shit.
dude, it takes you so long to do it. And Randy's
Let me
so
tell you,
far
I
ahead.
have no skills at 92 right now on my current account. On another account, I have multiple 99 skills, but I don't care about that account. It's all about the Iron Man, baby.
Amazing.
All about it.
Yeah.
And so Jason essentially sat down and said, "I'm going to start playing this game, and there's no way I can catch Randy, but there's one thing I can do that he
but I
won't
can
do that I'll
one
be able to
thing
say
that'll
that I
piss
did."
him off.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's literally
Yeah.
the 100% of the reason why I did
I
it.
love
That is
it.
what happened. Yep.
That is incredible.
It's the most Jason thing ever.
It
Oh,
honestly,
1,000%.
Yeah.
it's in the Hall of Fame.
And what
for
I love
sure.
about Jason is he will not deny it for a second. That
No,
is
no,
absolutely
he
why I
knows.
did what I did.
Yeah, literally, because I don't usually get motivated by, I mean, I am hyper competitive, but like about shit that doesn't really matter. Like with Papa Shot, if I'm at a bar or something, dude, like I will not stand for losing to anyone at any game that I play.
I don't know what Papa Shot
It's
is.
just like the shooting basketballs into the hoop. and then like it'll move forward and backwards, whatever. Like, dude, I get like, but shit that really matters. I'm not that competitive, but like things like that.
Dog, I'll smoke you in that basketball game,
dude. No, you won't. First of all, second, dude, my brother and I are so competitive that like the rest of the family. So his kids and his wife, like none of them really enjoy playing games with us because we take it to the extreme and we get so competitive. We're so competitive that with Parcheesi, we actually on the back of the board write who won the game last. So now we have like
that's actually rad.
Dude, it's so cool.
I really
like in permanent marker, dude. And it's like, so now you know, like you go to play and it's like, oh, guess what, dude? I'm up 17-14. Suck it. It's just like that little shit.
Have a Parcheesi cheese party.
Dude, you know what I mean? It just keeps me going, man. But okay, so you're into that. So are there other games like I guess maybe for people that don't play video games very often, like what are the major other types of games? Because you said MMO, RPG, there's like first person shooter, like Call of Duty's a first person shooter.
First person shooter is that's a huge one. You can also loop in third person shooters into that because shooting games are a big category in themselves. Third person shooter being the cameras behind them, first person being you are the camera. Strategy games, I'm huge into strategy games. I love stuff like that. Age of Empires, me and Jason were talking about last night. I mean, strategy game I guess goes really deep, but play a lot of games. Like I'm looking at my Steam right now. That's why I'm looking over here.
So I just found out what that is. Devin will surely not know what that is.
I was just about to say. Yeah. Steam is in like making tea or like what are we talking about?
Steam is a library and a shop for games on computers. I'm trying to avoid using any like.
No, I appreciate it. Pretend like you're talking to a caveman when it comes to this sort of thing.
That's what I'm working on. But so basically Steam, you buy games there, you download your games there. I have currently 431 games on Steam because I am just ridiculous.
Incredible. So this is like outside of your profession, right? Like this is your hobby that you love to do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
I got a few hobbies,
I'm going to pivot us a little bit.
The always there is video games. Go on.
Okay. Yeah. I have an eye for a few things, not a lot of things, but it looks like you might have a bottle that I recognize that is only sold in certain parts of the country.
Did I forget to turn?
Is that the Yingling?
Your God.
So you must be, I take it, somewhere on the eastern seaboard.
That is correct. I'm from
where are you ballpark located?
The home of Yingling itself, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
The best state in the union.
Amazing. So 2 Pennsylvanians on the pod.
Just
Keystone.
Have you always been in Pennsylvania?
Always been, probably always will be.
Right on.
And that's by choice. That's not because I'm like, oh, I'm stuck here. No, man. I love it here. I would love to stay here. I love Pennsylvania.
That's amazing. So is that how you guys know each other? Like being in Pennsylvania, or how did that come about?
No.
Well, I mean, in a way, I guess, because like we didn't.
I guess in a little bit.
We've never met in person, but originally when I started my YouTube
RuneScape,
channel,
wasn't it?
It was RuneScape. We were escaping them runes.
No.
But no, so when I started my YouTube channel, Jason with a J, I needed help with a lot of different things. I needed help with logo, branding guidelines, like a lot of stuff I didn't even know I needed. So Randy got pulled into the project through our buddy Sean. I met Sean through my buddy Dan, who actually Devin, because he was the guy that drove across the country with us. So Dan introduced me to Sean, or I met him when I was living in Philly, and then Sean does. Is he graphic design technically, or like what is?
He's a graphic designer. Yeah.
So Sean's a graphic designer,
but he's on like a much higher scale.
Yeah. So he introduced me to Randy, and then Randy and I just honestly, man, kind of clicked. Like from day 1 or 2, it was just
vibe.
Yeah, and like we literally probably couldn't be more different in most of the aspects of our lives, but we just get along super well and always have. And so then when this project came up and we needed branding for it, I was like, well, Randy's my guy. And here we are. So Pennsylvania.
That's amazing.
Keystone State.
Isn't it incredible? Like isn't it incredible as you go through this like life journey, how there's these random connections that you can always like look back and draw the dots between, but like while it's happening, it's like, what? Like, how do I know this person? Like, that's really cool.
And I always find it really, really fun when you meet somebody who like at one point lived very close to you, but you did not meet them very close to you. That's happened to me a few times in life, and it's really weird, you know?
Because there's a pretty big age gap between you two, right?
Yeah.
Why do you got to be like that?
Jason, how old are you?
So why are we being like this, guy? This is not about me.
I'm purely just asking out of curiosity.
No, I'm 38.
Oh, good Lord.
Jason is 11 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
So
that's exceptional.
I robbed the graphic design cradle, as it were.
Correct.
And also the
friendship can just transcend decades.
Well, the thing is, generally speaking, and this goes for most things except for maybe prostitution, the younger they are, the cheaper they are.
That's a fair point.
So also,
that's a fair point.
You pedo.
That's a fair point.
But Randy,
and Thought Safari has been canceled.
and that's the end of the Thought Safari. No, but
push the edit button. Push the edit button.
Yeah. Woo, edit. But no, I mean, because the other thing too is like which I would love to get into graphic design a little bit at some point, but like you find somebody who just kind of gets you and that you like to work with. Because like I only know graphic design from the buyer side. You know, I've never done it, but I think it's really important because you know, we work well together, and I'm sure there are a lot of things that I have done that have frustrated you, and some of which you've told me, and some of which I haven't, or you haven't.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah, but like we gelled pretty well, and like so not only were we friends, but I liked his work, and he delivers really fantastic work at a reasonable price, and what's not to love about that? I mean, now it's going to be going through the roof now that we're putting him on the map, so like he won't be cheap anymore. So we kind of fucked that up. No, you're actually...
I'm already getting less and less cheap.
No, you're actually...
we were going to call him... We were grandfathered in. Thoughts
we are.
Grandfathered in, right?
I was going to say, we're locked in. Sure. We're locked into the rate.
Yeah. You should tell my other pissed off clients about that, too.
Yeah. Well, dude, so graphic design, because you also mentioned that you know more about that, and that is what you do on a daily basis.
So I do professionally.
Yeah. So I don't know what the question is about that, because graphic design, I think a lot of people kind of understand to some extent, but like maybe talk about that a little bit, and more like, you know, what would people that, because on the outside it's like, okay, they just make fucking digital art. That sounds awesome. But like, what do people not know about it? What's good about it? What sucks about it? Like, what would somebody not know about it?
So I'll give you kind of my sales pitch on graphic design.
Love
here.
that.
So like you said, a lot of people are going, oh, well, you know, they just like put a thing on the page. They write the words and it goes on the ad or the Facebook post or whatever, you know, but graphic design goes really deep. It has a lot of history and a lot of legacy to it. That is what makes me love it. So graphic design is not only making something look good, it's also making something function. That's a big reason why I'm really in love with logo design in general. That's kind of my main bread and butter when it comes to graphic design in general.
Sorry, with what design did you say?
Logo design. So
logo,
creating logos for companies, for podcasts, for you know, things like that. But what goes into a logo is a lot deeper than what people think. I couldn't tell you the countless amount of times that I've had someone go, well, hey, you know, I drew this, or my nephew drew this. Would this be a good logo? And, you know, obviously I can go, hey, you could like totally get started with that if you wanted to, because getting started on a business, obviously the legwork of that business is really important. In my opinion, the logo is a very important part of a business too. Think about all of the things that you've bought them specifically because of the logo. How many people do you think actually shop or care about Bass Pro Shops?
Oh, I love Bass Pro Shops. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know you do. I know you're not a poser wearing the hat, but there's a lot of them out there.
Fair.
So what I'm saying is they're wearing the logo hat because it's a logo on a hat. And people on the internet said it was neat. There's a lot of logos like that people are in love with the logo, they don't really care about what's behind it. But a functional logo will accurately depict what a company is about. And that is what makes logo design so difficult. People can go, hey, I drew this thing. I'm a handyman, so I made this logo, and it's a wrench, and it's like a saw, and it's like, a hammer. And I'm like, that's awesome, man. It shows that you use wrenches, hammers, and saws. That's cool.
Yeah.
Man. Good job. But how many times have you seen that same logo out there? So balancing functionality with individuality to create something unique that really on a high level represents a business, that is a difficult task. And that's
probably uniquely identifies that business, like using that example, right? Like there's a lot of people using saws and hammers, right?
Yeah. But so you might take a different route. Get rid of the saw, get rid of the hammer, get rid of the wrench, get rid of these tools that limit what your business's potential are, and replace it with a simple utilitarian mark that shows I am a utilitarian business that will do things to fix things or improve things. I did something similar with one of my clients. Shout out G&M Mechanical. Really awesome HVAC guys local to me. Really cool dudes. 2 really awesome guys working at that company. But so they had me redo their logo. And so I use this example a lot when I talk about the legacy of logos to my clients. But so they said, okay, we're an HVAC company. So I went online, and in doing research for this project, I researched ancient HVAC solutions. So what did they do in Egypt? What did they do in the Levant? What did they do in Greece? What did they do in Korea? In all these ancient civilizations to heat and cool their houses. So I gave them this whole lecture on ancient HVAC solutions. And afterwards they were like, how did you know more about HVAC than us?
Well, wait,
but that's part of my job.
That's beautiful.
To do all that research.
So you're talking about like what they did in the early days to do all those things, and wasn't that just cutting a fucking hole in their mud hut?
No,
I feel like it. So they actually
it
do
goes
it.
way crazier than that. It goes way crazier than that. So in Greece, what they would do is they had what essentially would be like a basement. So they had their whole floor suspended on pillars. And then in that area underneath, they would light a fire on one end and have a chimney on the other. So the smoke would travel underneath the floor to heat the entire house from the bottom. And it's so cool. When you see pictures of this, it's amazing. Korea did something really similar, but it was like maze shaped underneath. I don't know why. I don't know why they did it like that, but it was still cool. Probably saved space, to be honest. In the desert, to cool the houses, they had these giant wind towers, which were just extremely tall buildings with these vertical slots cut in them. And what those would do is when the wind would come through, it would force the wind down in through the buildings and cool off everything underneath. So they had all these really awesome methods that didn't require electricity, but in a way they still used things like ductwork, which HVAC solutions use exclusively. So in that, I utilized the different forms of those ancient HVAC solutions to create a logo that referenced those things, but also still kept their image in mind to create something unique, but that also conveyed a utilitarian style. In my opinion, the logo turned out beautiful. The website turned out beautiful. The whole project was just gorgeous, and they're very happy with it from last I heard.
Oh, wow. Tooting his own horn on the
that's
show.
Incredible. And I feel like even just listening to that one example, you do this for a variety of different businesses, industries, companies, right? So just using that example, you almost become this unintended expert on
I
whatever
know
the graphic design pursuit is about.
A lot of things nobody cares about.
Yeah, like, but what a fun, like, creative pursuit, right? Like,
yeah, you get to learn.
You get to learn a bunch about something and then turn it on its head and be super creative with it.
Yeah, so I guess
that's something I love about it.
Yeah, and as I'm thinking about what you do, and like not meaning to be insulting or provocative in any way here, but like why?
Sure.
Like I already somewhat know the answer because I've used you. I've used you for
yes,
pedo.
I'm not a pedo.
I'm 27.
Listen, he's the legal age to hire. It's totally fine, guys. So the question is,
oh my God,
artificial intelligence. Do you think at some point that'll just wipe out what you do, or like why is it not there yet? Will it get there? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, so to a certain degree, possibly in the future, not now. So right now, AI does beautiful things in artwork. I've actually been asked by clients to use AI artwork in certain things that they couldn't afford to like fully do custom illustration for a book. So I do a lot of work in like board games. I've done the design for 3-4 board games, something like that. So, and it's awesome, by the way. Fucking rad.
Well, as someone who likes games, right? Like that's right up your alley.
Yeah, it's very fun. But so they're laying out an art book, they're laying out a rule book, and they can't just pay. I mean, illustration's very expensive. So in order to cut down costs, they were like, hey, we're going to do some AI stuff. It's going to have to work for what we're doing. And I was like, all right, we'll get it in there. It'll be fine. It's not great, but just be upfront about it. You know, hey, we used AI for this. And a lot of the basic consumer doesn't care. They don't really care at all. The artist might go, well, why would he use AI for that? But that's just the way it is. So AI makes beautiful artwork, and it can make super conceptual artwork, and it can make a ton of artwork at once that all looks exactly the same for an extreme fraction of the price. It can be useful for sure. So that being translated to what I do, graphic design, which is different than art. It's not there yet. A lot of people have used it for
monster truck rallies.
Vroom, vroom.
Harleys, you know.
And cue the Mazda commercial.
Sorry about that.
Sponsored by
Zoom. So a lot of people have tried to use it for logo design, which it misses the mark on entirely. Art, design, and especially logo design require soul. They really do. There's intent behind design that there isn't behind certain artwork. Typography is not there in AI. Laying out, let's say like a book. I lay out a lot of books. You can't do that with AI. It doesn't work. You need a human touch to go in and say, this visually doesn't make sense when I read the book. Or, sorry, excuse me, beer. This doesn't make sense in a rulebook standpoint. This doesn't make sense when I am looking through the rules of this game. Or in a logo fashion, this just looks like, oh, okay, so, you know, it's a fishing company. Oh, well, it's a picture of a fish with a name underneath. Like, people pay for logos that work better than that.
So there's an aspect to the digestion of the logo that sort of incites some human emotion that AI doesn't really get.
Yeah. I saw someone on the internet say something that I thought was very beautiful. Some atheist on the internet said, I didn't think it would take AI to convince me that humans have souls. And I thought that was really, really interesting, because when you look at AI art, you can tell it wasn't made by a person. AI stuff has a soullessness to it, and human art has feeling. It has energy to it.
That's a
I love
beautiful
buying
thing.
art, and it's because of that. Because people say abstract art is, oh, it's easy. You know, it's just a bunch of like paint splatters and stuff. But I can feel emotion in that, in the movement of the brush, in like what was done on the page. When an AI makes abstract art, it feels like the art you see when you walk into a hotel lobby.
Yeah, it does because
spot on.
Yeah, because even as we were working through the design for some of the Thought Safari stuff, we did try leveraging AI, and even there, it's like an example would be we had the forest right behind the Thought Safari logo, and we said add a natural light source. And Adobe's AI literally added a
like
boob.
God came down from
Well, the boob light.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It literally, dude. It put
the ceiling titty.
It put a ceiling titty in the middle of the forest. like that's what it thought a natural light source was.
Funny.
So it's the way that I have another buddy who does this, and he does a lot more with AI. And what he was saying is that it's not replacing what he does right now, but it's making what he does a lot
speeding
easier.
up the process.
Because like his job has become learning how this thing actually works. And the same with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like you have to,
absolutely.
It's not as easy as just, make me this thing that looks like this. I mean, it to some extent can be depending on.
No, I'm right there with you. It takes skill to create the thing you want. There's parameters, there's dials, there's sliders, there's, the text field. You need to learn how to manipulate that text field. And you can end up with the complete wrong thing. I'm sure a lot of people who have been like, oh, AI is so easy, I'm going to hop onto this and get this picture. And they go, well, this all looks so goofy. None of this would ever be used. It takes a lot of dialing into those parameters. You can make some beautiful AI art. And, I guess make is kind of like a strong word, generate. I don't know, but you know what I mean?
I was going to say.
Yeah, we used AI for the for some of the Thought Safari branding, for some of the background images. We even used it to help out with the giraffe illustration. And using it as a tool like that, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Using it as a tool is great. That's what it is.
Dude, I feel like Mac from Always Sunny, where it's like, AI is a bitch sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Because it
really
just
is.
like sometimes it does nail it, and sometimes it's just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, how did you even? There was one I was just trying to Photoshop this like super stupid. I basically took a picture of me and somebody, and she made a joke on our like 0th date. It was just we met, like it wasn't even a date, but we were talking about like getting married on a boat, like as one does on your 0th date. And so I took a picture of us and I Photoshopped us on a boat. And all I was trying to get AI to do was add the like arch and then add a priest. And every time I tried adding a priest, dude, it was giving me burning crosses. It was giving me like
avoid people.
Yeah, like the 10 Commandments, like stones. Like it could not.
I thought you were going to say it was like Samuel L. Jackson dressed up as a priest or something.
It wasn't even that good, dude. That would have been lit actually if I did that. But yeah, it's just it's not there. I feel like it has to get there at some point. But to your point, you can tell
it's machine learning.
Yeah, like some of it's
getting better, and it will get better.
Yeah, and some of it's indiscernible, but like indiscernible from like what a human would make. But some of it is very like even the people that do the photos, right? And they have AI go through the photos and like, hey, make this look presidential or whatever. And then you'll see like they'll have like phantom hands around people, and like it's not. Yeah. It's on its way. It's doing incredible stuff. It's not quite there yet.
Oh, for sure. And in the next few years, it will be insane. Maybe then I'll be out of a job, but what I'll do then is I will change my title to AI coordinator, and that's what I'll do for a living.
There you go.
And I think, but I think even with all that said, as advancements continue in that direction, I just think you said something so beautiful in there about the human element, even as it pertains simply to art, right? And like,
it's true.
There is a feeling that you get as a viewer of said art that you just don't get, and no matter how refined it gets and how good it gets, you can't replace the human element, no matter how good it gets. In my opinion, call me
human error. It's
an
huge.
earthling, but
important. No, I'm right there with you.
Well, human error. It goes back to the Persian carpet, Jason.
The Persian carpet. That he said my hair looks like a Persian carpet. And that's a good thing
that's
apparently.
a
I'm
lot
not
of
going to be
context,
mean.
but-
Well, yeah. So like basically, I was all frazzled because my hairline right now it actually doesn't look bad, but sometimes it kind of like goes like up to a point.
Sorry, I have to lean around my my camera to look at you. So I'm looking.
Oh yeah.
at your
Well, so
hairline.
so first of all, look at the wrinkles, right? So that's not that sweet. But then my hairline also like tilts
Yeah, I
up.
can fix that.
But this isn't about me, Randy. This is about you. So yeah, you don't have wrinkles. You got silky ass skin, dude. I bet you rub milk all over
But
yourself.
I do have a worse hairline than you.
Fair.
I ain't taking the hat off.
I was just gonna say.
No. Now I need to clarify. It's not that bad.
Oh,
Dude,
so-
he's got
yeah.
good hair. Randy's
That's
got
not-
good hair.
It's a little
That's
bit
good.
back there. It's a little bit back there, but it's not bad.
Randy
I
with the
needed
good
to
hair.
clarify for the watchers. I'm not bald under the hat. I'm not bald. I'm just
So before he was
not
Randy,
great.
now he's the lead singer in Taking Back Randy. Look at that hair in the front, dude.
hang on.
Final question on the video games, because everyone who's ever played video games for as long as you have, and probably as late into the night as you have, talk to me about not gamer fuel of today, but what gamer fuel used to be. The old standby Mountain Dew. Do you have a favorite
Are
Mountain
you talking
Dew
about
flavor?
specifically Mountain Dew Game Fuel? Because that is its own section of Mountain Dew.
I didn't even know that, but tell us whatever you want about Mountain
I told
Dew.
you I know a lot about Mountain Dew.
All right.
And
hit
my
us.
favorite Mountain Dew is Mountain Dew Black Label, which came in a larger can. It had a higher caffeine content. It was blackberry flavored, and it was
God.
delicious. It was one of the best things ever. So around 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd start a can of Mountain Dew Black Label, get about halfway down, leave it on my desk, and then as I'm on my way to school, I would drink the other half. That was my daily routine, and I'd have another one in the middle of the day as well.
That is like
I used to
Viking savage material.
Yeah. I used to drink roughly 6 cans of Mountain Dew a day.
Of the Black Label?
Oh my God.
No, various flavors.
So how many are there? Like, do you know the wild? Because I was talking to my nephew about
There's
this, and
not a number I could pull out of my ass, dude. There's no way.
There's been a
so many
million.
different
Doesn't
kinds
Taco
of
Bell
Mountain
come
Dew.
out
Yeah,
with a new
there's
flavor
so-
every month?
they have Baja Blast. It's
No, they have-
delicious.
Yeah, and Baja Blast is actually commercially available in stores now,
Oh,
which is cash money.
There-
Because I love buying that by the case.
wasn't there one where I don't know if it was the Black Label or not, but there was one that there was kind of a black market for because people you couldn't get it anymore because they've discontinued all the
So that's
old flavors.
Yeah, that's actually still going on. That's a constant at all times. The Dew Drinkers Discord is huge, and Mountain Dew Drinkers on Facebook is also
incredible.
really big too. So they'll drink 10-year expired Mountain Dew because it's a flavor that's been discontinued for 10 years, and they're like, "Hey, I got this out." They'll put it in a wine glass. I'm not even joking with you, and they'll sip on it and comment on the bouquet of a Mountain Dew flavor.
I'm gonna be
which is
back
amazing.
real quick. I just have to throw up. Just give me 2 seconds.
Dude, there's
Okay.
this
I mean, what?
It's amazing, dude. And to go even a step further, they also don't open the tops of the cans. They poke a hole in the bottom and drain it into a cup so they can keep the cans on a shelf. It's awesome. I love this weird subgenre of human being. I'm not one of them. I had to swear off the sauce when I lost a few teeth. So
Mountain Dew will do that.
not joking.
Dude, it's
I still treat myself.
dude, it's like the
to
most sugary
to
drink
the
of all
nectar.
time. It's like
It's not the sugar. It's the citric acid.
Is it really?
It's very
That's what
acidic.
gets the teeth?
Yeah, it's extremely acidic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
There's
shit.
actually it's like a disease. It's called Mountain Dew mouth, and it's because people who drink too much Mountain Dew will have the tops of their teeth rot away, and that's what happened to a few of my front teeth here. So they're capped.
You got Mountain Dew mouth over there.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
I didn't have the best dental hygiene as a teenager. oh no, sue me, you know. But it did cost me a few bucks.
Dude, I feel like you're going to be part of like the people versus PepsiCo in a couple of years. Like there's got to be a class action thing here at some point.
No way. I couldn't sue him. I love their product too much.
No, because he loves it too much.
It's good stuff,
I mean,
man.
you know, one of my favorite recent discoveries about Mountain Dew. I'm not a Mountain Dew drinker, but I mean, I've had a few back in the day.
Of course.
There's like orange juice in Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Orange juice?
How exceptional
There's
is
a lot
that?
of flavors in there, man.
Orange juice is in Mountain Dew.
Is it really?
Have you ever heard the lawsuit where someone said they found a mouse in a can of Mountain Dew?
No.
I love
So someone
every part of
put out a
this.
picture and they said there was a mouse inside of my can of Mountain Dew. And you know what they said? What they replied? They said the mouse would have dissolved way before you opened it. I'm not joking.
So wait.
I mean, I
Wait.
don't doubt it because if you put a piece of meat in Coca-Cola, that shit disappears
Oh,
damn
it goes
near
away.
overnight.
Yeah. I'm not joking. That is that
Wow.
happened.
Think about how crazy we got to be to drink some shit that'll make a mouse
Yeah.
dissolve.
And they admitted it's not even that they were like, oh, sorry. No, they were like, no, that shit's volatile.
A
But
mouse?
by the way, they're buy one get one this week, dude, for
Yeah.
the fucking
But Mountain
Blackberry
Dew Game
Smash.
Fuel is on sale.
Dude, so
Oh
you're
my
telling me Mountain Dew would dissolve the mouse's bones? Like,
Yeah.
is
Oh
that,
yeah.
Bro,
It dissolved
what are your
my
teeth
fucking
made out of?
Jason?
What are your teeth? Your teeth are bones,
Yeah.
essentially.
I mean,
They have an enamel to them, so they got a little bit more strength. But I'll tell you, man, it went right through them.
And guess what? I bet our teeth are thicker than most little. If a mouse is small enough,
Yeah.
to fit in a can of Mountain Dew, its bones are thinner than your teeth.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's only one
Bye-bye
can of Mountain
mouse.
Dew.
Bye bye mouse.
Now I kind of wonder what I can dissolve in Mountain Dew.
I think you should do an experiment.
Dude, we should
I
have
think
a
that'd be
weekly
honestly
thing.
Foreskin.
really fun.
Dude, we should have a weekly thing where like we put something in a
Check in.
like a glass of Mountain Dew and we see how many
Yeah.
episodes it takes for it to dissolve on my counter.
I would love to see
It's a
that.
terrible
would
idea,
love to
but
see
go
that.
ahead.
Dude,
I'd
that's
love to see
fantastic. That's a fantastic idea.
So
it's
bring it
incredible.
back to Wild Mountain Dew facts. It's a Mountain Dew Typhoon. Or what's Typhoon? Hang on.
Is this a video
Pause.
game?
Pause 1 second. Pause one
Is this-
Tornado.
second.
do you own this
No,
on
no, no.
Steam? Like,
No, no,
Mountain
no.
Dew Tycoon?
Typhoon. No.
Mountain Dew Geyser
Aurora.
Blast.
Geyser Blast.
Aurora. That's the one.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely because even Typhoon could be like a surfing game.
Here we go. No, Typhoon was local, and somebody that went to my middle school actually designed the can for Typhoon, which is rad already.
That's cool.
But that's why I was thinking Typhoon. But no, so Mountain Dew Aurora was a flavor only released in Japan, and someone found an empty bottle of it in a dumpster, and that bottle sold for $1,500.
That's wonderful. I love people. I just do.
Yeah, me
if there's
too.
ever
It's
a
amazing.
debate
People are
about the
obsessed with what they are.
strangest species of living thing on planet Earth, you just have to tell them that story, and it is without question human beings.
Humans.
To be honest
Yeah.
with you, aardvarks are kind of weird. I don't know why I thought of that.
And the echidna is a weird one. It's got a 4-headed penis. That's
Wasn't that Knuckles from
Bless
Sonic?
that.
Yep,
Yeah, he was
4-headed
pretty
penis
rad in
Knuckles.
Sonic. He wasn't Sonic, but he was pretty rad nonetheless.
Nah, man, knock knock, it's Knuckles. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
I mean, as they'd say
The
in the
Halloween
South,
mat.
bless his heart, you know?
That's exactly what they'd
Four-headed
say.
penis.
Well, I think we should.
We've
We've now gone completely off the rails, so we should
Sorry.
probably rein us
which
back
is
in here. At
exactly
some
where we
point.
should go.
It's a safari.
So,
what are we?
Little soft
What are we?
power.
What are we reining in? Where are we going? What's
Yeah.
the plan here?
there's no reining in. So, but I would say I will say this. Okay, we've had enough fun. It's been lighthearted. So I kind of want to get us a little more serious. Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
So
Is this a new
so
segment?
buckle up, Buttercup. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah, buckles are on.
Okay, Randall, I'm looking at you, buddy.
Lay it on me. Oh, good.
There
Good.
is a worldwide competition. Okay? The entire planet filled with human beings. And you have to finish in the top 10,000. Okay, there's like 8 billion people on the planet Earth, okay? Every single person on the planet is eligible to participate in this challenge.
Okay.
Okay, there's no discrimination by age, race, doesn't matter. Every single human being. You got to finish in the top 10,000. What would that competition be?
How specific can I get?
You
You can
the more
do
the better.
whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not going to be like, oh, being a 27-year-old guy named Randy. Like, that's
you can't because not everyone can do that.
Which also, I'm sure there's a few of them. But
yeah, you wouldn't be the top 10,000 of those.
I guess they could, but yeah, there's probably at least 10,000 of them.
For sure.
Let me think. Hold on. Top 10,000. I'll be real. I don't think there is one.
I would say you're probably.
I don't think there is one.
You're probably in the top 10,000 at doubting yourself.
That's fair, but no. Let me hear me out here. I am such a fucking jack of all trades, master of none. I know, I dabble in so many different fucking things that I don't think there's a one thing that I'm better than most at. I don't necessarily
so far it sounds
say
like
that's
Mountain Dew trivia.
Good at that.
But there's so many more, and it wouldn't be top 10,000. You trust me. These fucking Mountain Dew drinkers, their groups are well over 10,000 people, and they are way more knowledgeable than me.
That is absurd.
Me. I know, it's ridiculous. But so what I'm trying to say is I'm such a fucking master of none that it's what would I claim to be in the top 10,000 of? Because I don't think I could logically make that claim without just not really understanding the vastness of human knowledge, because I am not as knowledgeable as most humans in a lot of things when it comes to a niche. I don't niche that hard. I like to do a lot of things. Obviously, in my career, I'm good, but in my top 10,000, in absolutely no way. In the things that I possibly know more about than other people, am I in the top about it? Absolutely not. More than most for some things, maybe top 10,000, no. So I don't think there is one, and I think me saying one would be giving myself far too much credit.
What if
just a beautiful, humble answer?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if there was a competition where you had to exude an above average level of humility while doubting yourself constantly, underpricing your services, having the lightest skin possible, wearing hats that say you suck, and then photoshopping my face onto an elephant and making it passable all within an hour, I feel like you'd be. So I think your top 10.
That's so specific.
It can be though, dude. You got to finish on top. You build the rules, man. This is your game. This is your.
Just everyone can play.
Everyone can play. It's just got to be photoshopping something, doing something else, eating a corn dog, smoking a vape. All within an hour.
Pissing in a Mountain Dew can.
I quit the sauce, man. You're
off the sauce.
I don't vape anymore.
Oh, wow.
Attaboy.
Are you on the Zin
I want to
wagon,
give you
or
a
off
hug
those
and a
two?
high five.
No Zins either.
Oh, wow. How are you getting through your day?
I am woefully depressed.
Well, yeah. Well, so, okay.
Me
so
neither.
it sounds.
I don't do Zins either.
No, you absolutely don't.
Yeah,
you
absolutely
don't.
Those are just.
I'm seeing nothing happening on that screen right now.
Yeah, exactly. He hides it so well. That's the thing. He's so inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like, though, from all of this, you sound like a down-to-earth, pretty cool dude. I mean, I know that about you, but anyone that would give an answer like that, I have an idea as to how you might answer this next question, but I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are. So every friend group has big definitions of roles within the friend group. And, some of them are like, the father of the friend group, the mother of the friend group, they're the planner of the friend group. And the way that I think about it is it's less about like any one role. Cause like you do have people that do those things, but it's almost like you're a boy or a Girl Scout and you're wearing badges. So like you have little badges of things that you do in your friend group. What are your badges, or what are you in your friend group or groups?
What am I?
Yeah, what are you typically doing in are you the griller? Are you what do you typically do in your friend groups? What is your role?
I like to think I'm kind of like a social hub of a friend, of like my few friend groups. A lot of my friends don't talk or hang out much until I kind of make them. So, like I'll be like, hey, we're doing something this week. People come over and they hang out. They don't really do anything other than that. Like that's always kind of been my role, being the place where people hang out. For a while, when we got this apartment here, every Friday we had all of our friends over to all hang out. And as a band I absolutely love, The Uncluded once said, I love to cross-pollinate the communities. You take all these people that I love a lot of people. I'm not the kind of guy to be pigeonholed into, this person is just like me. They share my ideologies. They are my friend. I like to find the beauty in a lot of people. And in that way, I like to introduce them to people of very different ideologies. And it opens a lot of people up to a completely new experience. And maybe that's somebody that they would never have talked to before, but then they can kind of meet on some common ground, me, and they can, have a conversation and get to know each other and get to know what like that other type of person's about. I really love to do that and help people kind of make friends. I mean, just for anecdotally, a good friend of mine, I'm not going to name any names. I just feel like it's, rude. But so a good friend of mine is, first off, this guy can get along with anybody on the planet, I promise you. But
you could use my name. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm on the show.
It's not Jason.
No, that's fine.
But so I'm talking about one of my buddies, that I hang out with in physicality. But so very, very likable human being in general. And but when it comes to personality wise, left leaning, politically, very not like the gun kind of guy. He doesn't have that traditional masculinity. He has really non-toxic masculinity, super sensitive guy, great guy to be around, honestly. And then I have my other buddy who is essentially, you would imagine him the picture of masculinity. And he's tough. He served in the military. He's violent. He's loud, just, bearded, angry individual. When I introduced those two to each other, they became the best of friends, and they love each other. And all three of us and our respective significant others go out to dinner all together fairly often and we're all very different people, but that's the spice of life. You should meet people that aren't like you. You should talk to random people that you might think, I would probably hate this person, because there's a solid chance they're just like you in a lot of ways. Hell, they probably like mozzarella cheese. You like mozzarella cheese, Yeah. They like them thinly sliced meats. I like thinly sliced meats too. You know what I'm saying?
Like, a little gabagool.
Tell me you're from the Northeast without telling me you're from the Northeast.
more like I'll tell you I'm Italian, but
yeah, sure.
Go Birds.
Both, yeah.
My great grandmother's like from New York Italian off the boat of Ellis Island, so like
yeah,
it does the job.
Wait, do you call her Nani?
I like to call what you just described.
No.
I like to call what you just described like the straw that stirs the drink, right? Like You're not
Yeah.
necessarily the ingredient, but like you're in every drink and you stir it around
Yeah.
and everyone enjoys the drink that they're having.
Exactly. And I love that. That's a great analogy for it. Cause like, you know, I'm not the fucking guy that like directs the conversation. I'm not the guy that
You're not
makes
the
shit
whiskey.
happen, but yeah, I'm not the whiskey. I'm not the pina colada in the glass.
Well, no.
But you know, you got to get that pina colada into your mouth.
The thing is, though, based on the people you just described, I actually see you less as the straw that stirs the drink and more like quicksand. Because now I'm like, dude, now I'm stuck with these 3 fucking people. Like, what am I going to do? Like, the fucking horse in the never-ending story. Like, Atreyu got fucking, like, that's what it... No, but it's it. Because even you and I, Randy, right? It's like, like, as you think about just, like, you're going to put this person in a box, or, like, you're going to hear Jason talk to Randy, and you're going to figure out, like, in 5 minutes who they are, who they like, what they know, what they don't know, and, like, whether or not Randy and Jason would ever be friends. I don't think anybody on planet Earth would be like, yo, yeah, those two would get along famously.
No.
And yeah,
really what we have in common is we both really like to talk.
we will. Speak for yourself, dude. I mean, I'm trying to learn about you, not like you've been talking this whole goddamn time.
You have a podcast, Jason.
Well, yeah, so other people. You know what? That's the last time I'm having you on this show, for the record. No,
I don't know why you'd have me back. There's no reason to.
Yeah, we do though, man. Like it's just
there's so many reasons. We could do a thesis on Mountain Dew and RuneScribe, or what's it called? RuneScape.
RuneScribe.
Dude, yeah, 100%.
I love that.
In the spirit and respect for your time, there's a question that I always like to ask all of our numerous guests. And it's one that I've asked Jason, and I will proceed to ask you, and that is, what did you want to be when you were a kid? And if it's not graphic designer, where did you go wrong?
Actually, I put a lot of thought into this one because I do think about this all the time. So when I was a kid, I really wanted to serve in the military. That was like my goal in life. Like since I could walk, like that was like my whole thing. But I'm an artist, you know, and I learned that through life. You know, I'm a creative. So as I got into high school, I joined JROTC, which is like if the Boy Scouts were weirder. if the Boy Scouts marched in formation. So I joined JROTC, which was, I had a blast in JROTC, honestly. It was so much fun. I got to, you know, be part of like leadership. I was an officer, and it was a ton of fun. But by the end of it, I was like, man, I'm loving my art classes, and I would much rather do that than continue following orders for like the rest of my career at this point.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. So I ended up going to college for graphic design, which I did not know what it was at the time. I thought it was just art school. So I accidentally ended up at graphic design school, which was interesting how that happened. You know, a very expensive mistake, but it ended up not being a mistake. I fell in love with graphic design, and I met my fiance at school. It ended up being like probably one of the best decisions I could have made, because I mean, I might have done okay in the military, but who's to say? It really doesn't matter. There's no reason to go back on it. In the end, you know, I'm probably one of the only graphic designers that you're going to talk to that's going to publicly say that he absolutely loves guns. But I love guns.
Hell yeah.
A lot of my work I do is for gun accessory companies. It's a living.
I thought I loved you, and now I just love you even more.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
So, I'm probably one of the only artists that's like super into guns, and I play Airsoft which I play Milsim Airsoft specifically, which lets me get my my military tendencies out on the weekends. So
I'm sorry.
that's something that I do.
We're gonna do a quick little backtrack.
Do it.
How do you spell
You
that?
can't just slide that in there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you the
No.
guy that?
I'm actually familiar. I understand what Airsoft is, right?
Okay.
But like, so was this like a continuation of that desire as a kid?
Yeah,
I'm an artist,
honestly.
but like I want to run down this hobby because
it lets me go and do military shit on the weekends, and then I get to come home after 40 hours of sleeping in the woods, and I get to go back to bed.
After 3 hours of sleeping in the woods.
40.
So you go there and sleep for 40 hours.
Walk me through a weekend of Airsoft because this is amazing.
How long do you have?
Yeah, honestly, I could talk for days, but I'll explain Milsim West because it's probably the best example. But if you go on YouTube and you look up Milsim West, you'll find plenty of videos about it. But basically, it's a 40-hour event. So for 3 days, you are fighting with your team for a common objective against another team. So, you have a command structure. So, you could be the fucking dude at the bottom or you can be the dude at the top of the totem pole. You're out there sleeping in the dirt either way. You carry your rucksack with, 50 pounds of gear or whatever you end up bringing into the field. You hike to a place where your team is going to sit down. You set your stuff down. You fight. You probably fight on your way there with 50 pounds on your back. You sleep.
Fight because you run into the opposition on your way there.
Yeah.
So is this like a this is like a boundaried field sort of thing?
Yeah, but that's pretty loose. I think the last Milsim West I went to. Let me check. Let me Google this really quick. I don't want to give you bad info.
Yeah, I have so many questions on
We appreciate
this.
accurate info.
Yeah, you cannot bullshit on the Thought Safari. This is like
It's true. Well, I don't want someone to be like, oh, well, it wasn't actually that,
That's fair.
Okay, so the last one I went to, it was called Mount Balcar, the Battle for Mount Balcar, which is in Pennsylvania, and it is 5,000 acres of playing area.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so it's a lot of
How many
walking,
people on a team?
A lot of hiking. A few hundred.
A few hundred.
I believe it's usually like 200 or 300 on 200 or 300. It might be more than that though, depending on the AO. Yeah. So these are huge games. They're massive. And so for 40 hours, you're out there sleeping in the dirt. It could be raining, snowing, sleeting, whatever. You're out there. And if you leave, you have to go home. You can't come back onto the field. So you're fighting.
So start at the starting point. What is set? Sorry, but I want to set a stage here.
Yeah, you're good.
For someone like myself. So like, 200 to 300 people versus 200 to 300 people, 5,000 acres. In the case of Mount, what did you say?
Balcar.
Like,
Balcar.
What is the objective of both teams?
It's different every time. So,
so for this example, like, what was the objective?
So I actually don't know. So I was a shooter. I was the lowest of the low. I took orders from a fire team leader who took orders from a squad leader who took orders from a platoon leader who took orders from a commanding officer. I didn't know what was going on. I knew you are going that way and you are fighting those people. And that's what I did. I hiked for miles and miles and miles to go and fight people in the middle of the night wearing night vision and shit.
Yep.
So,
well, so just for context,
What?
For context, 5,000 acres is like 8 square miles. That's a huge fucking piece of property.
It was on a mountain. So it was up to the top and then down the other side.
Is it like one team enters from one side, the other team enters from the other side, and like go find them, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you walk in and then walk me through it.
So we played as NATO. NATO, real life NATO.
Sure.
So we played as NATO. And the enemy is Rust 4. In Milsim West, this is like the year-long thing. They describe this as the Super Bowl of Airsoft events. You're going here because it is the international stage for competitive Airsoft. So I'm on NATO. Rust 4 was allowed to deploy hours before us. So they set up camps. They were able to set up ambushes. They had tons of time. This is a pretty common theme. They generally get to defend an area. So our job was to get into it. So when we finally deployed hours later, we ended up already in an ambush, probably like a quarter mile away from the place where we started, where our cars were parked. So we already got into an ambush. We fought for a few hours against people that were just shutting down the entire mountain. Eventually, we pushed through that. We hiked up the mountain, I would say maybe halfway to the top of the mountain, a few miles in. Again, with rucksacks on. So I think mine was 40 to 45 pounds with weapon and helmet with night vision, which is another few pounds as well. So carrying that up the mountain into the fight and we got ambushed a few times on the way up, fighting with the packs on. But eventually we made it to a spot where we bedded down for the night, and we had to take watch cycles to be sure that we wouldn't get ambushed in the middle of the night. Happened anyway.
So
it's rough.
So how does it work in general? Are there different rules for different matches? Like if you get shot and killed, are you dead the whole time? You go to the gulag? Like what happens?
No. So every game is a little bit different. Milsim West rules are honestly some of the most like user friendly and realistic at the same time. So when you get shot once, you have to put on a tourniquet onto a limb. They don't care if it's the limb that got shot. You just put on a tourniquet.
Like a real tourniquet, or are we talking like a mimic?
So we carry real tourniquets in case things happen. We're all trained.
Sure.
A lot of us are trained with tourniquets because it's something you should be trained to use. But
for sure,
we use it. They call it a Milsim West tourniquet. It's basically a tourniquet without the windlass, the little stick on it. Mm-hmm. So you can't cut off circulation entirely to a limb because you don't want that on the side of a mountain. So you put on one of these like game tourniquets, and then you're back in the fight. If you get shot again, you have to and by the way, just to preface this, when you die at Milsim West, you don't yell hit and put your hand up like at most Airsoft games. You have to role play that death. You have to scream and act like you're dying because it makes the game a million times more fun.
Oh my god!
When you're shooting into the woods and you hear the people like screaming, and it's awesome. So you have to role play your death, put on a tourniquet, and when you get back up, you can keep fighting. And then if you die again, you have to drink a small water bottle. That can only be administered.
You have to do what with the water bottle?
You have to drink a small water bottle. They have like the little ones,
Okay.
So that can only be administered by a medic who is designated out of your squad. So you have to drink the water bottle. Once it's done, you're back up. But your squad only has a limited amount of those water bottles. You need to wait for the supply chains to give you more.
What if the medic goes down?
And then you're fucked.
There's no water bottles.
Wow.
Yeah, you're just fucked.
Holy shit.
Can you go, like, say medic goes down, can you go get the water bottles from the medic?
No, another medic would have to give him a water bottle.
Wow.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of...
This is amazing.
Bunch of shit like that. It's great. It's honestly, all in all, it's just a shitload of fun. Like, I love the realism of it, the military simulation, that's Milsim, of it all, because you get to act like you're doing something cool for a weekend, It's a great time.
And it's just such
It's like camping with extra steps.
And like an activity that like... So the other thing too is, so do you have do you have like a school, like, so you go to Milsim West as a team, I'm assuming? Like, is it a team of like 10, 20? You could go by yourself?
Yeah.
Like,
Some people, yeah, you can go by yourself. You can go with your buddies, or you can go on a team, or you can sign up with a platoon, things like that. There's plenty of options. Going by yourself kind of sucks, man. Like, when I go out there and I'm freezing to death, and like me and my buddy are freezing to death under a tarp together, it's a lot better than if I was freezing to death alone. You know what I'm saying?
dude, I feel like if you go there by yourself, you become like the little drummer boy from the Revolutionary War. So you get no gear. You just get a bloody bandage and a drum, and you're just like
Basically
leading the troops. So,
you end up working alongside your squad.
Yeah. So you have, are you part of right now just like a regular squad platoon? Like, do you have a whole team of people? Like, how are you in a crew?
My team? Yeah, my team has a division that goes to Milsim West, but it's like a very specific part of my team. I'm on an international team called One Legion. So we have team members in a lot of different countries. And it's just awesome there. And I don't exaggerate when I say they're some of my best friends in the world. My team is people that I spend a lot of time with, and I've suffered with, and I've almost froze to death with. So it's awesome stuff. And, we're sponsored. We do a lot of stuff for social media. We spend weekends together without like the big games going on. We go and just like hang out and do cool stuff like that.
So like in this example where this battle, if you will, was in Pennsylvania, right? Did you say it was?
Yeah.
Like, so people from your team like came from other countries to come to this battle?
Not that one specifically, but we had our Puerto Rico team come to a game that we went to in Georgia, which was awesome.
Really? So you guys like
we got to
travel
hang out
and
with
everyone like gathers?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We got to hang out
cool
with
is
our
that?
Puerto Rico team, who are really cool guys. They are so rad to be around.
That is, and
we
like
have,
what a common theme, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We all just fucking love shooting plastic BBs at each other. It's awesome.
I mean, that's exceptional. I'll tell you a funny story, related but unrelated. It was the first time I ever played paintball, right? And like, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was playing high school. So it gets set up on not a 5,000 acre field and not 300 people, but like some wooded area in Illinois. They're like one team's starting over here and one team's starting over there. And I'm like super amped up. Like, this is awesome. I got a paintball gun.
Oh, yeah.
So like sort of start walking towards the middle, and I see like the first person I see is this guy. It's just like orange vest. I'm like, that's not what we're wearing.
That is
bam, 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 bam. And that was definitely the referee in the middle of the field. And I just lit up like a Christmas tree, and he's just like screaming at the top of his lungs. And I was like, yeah, well, sorry, my bad.
Well, let me tell you, I was that ref a few times. I ref paintball occasionally, and you're an asshole for that.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I didn't know any better. I felt terrible after, but like I just saw someone that was not on my team, and I was like, I'm gonna shoot this guy. Yeah, it was embarrassing.
I've never played either. It seems so fun though. So like, do you to like the death part? Like, can you get non-lethal blows, or is it just like if you get shot anywhere, it's tourniquet time?
So in general, airsoft, when you get shot, you die. For most like walk-on games, like what you're talking about, where you went to a field and you just like played and attacked each other, that you put your hand up, you say hit, you walk back to respawn. Yeah. Simple stuff. We like to play the complicated games because it's fun. Getting shot in the gun is a gun hit, and usually we call that not a hit. So you're safe. If that answers your question.
And what happens if you go down hard? Like, do you end up in a gulag and just you and the boys are drinking for the next 15 hours?
What do you mean? Like if you like die?
Yeah, you're tourniquet, boom, shot again. Medic comes, gets you, boom, down again.
So once if you're medic watered out, you're done. You lay there acting dead for a while until your whole team either like advances or is wiped, and you have to go back to your forward operating base, which is essentially where we were sleeping.
Oh shit! And then you come back to life the next day, like it's like Valhalla.
No, same day. You can, you take time to sit in your forward operating base, you reload, you eat some food, and then you go back out on another patrol.
Oh, so when you say a while, are we talking like how long are we playing dead?
Good question.
Until you can stop. Sometimes it's hours.
Wow.
Hours.
What?
Yeah. Depending on what's going
That's
on. Like you could be laying there for a good amount of time.
What's the longest you've been dead?
I honestly, I think I spent a pretty solid hour on the ground. Just after getting shot, just kind of,
that is,
and you're sitting there, you might sneak a Slim Jim while you're laying there.
Yeah. At least you can eat when you're done, right?
Oh yeah. People aren't like super strict about it, but like if people are like coming over you, you should act dead for their enjoyment. Like if nobody's around you, you can, you drink water, you eat a Slim Jim, whatever. But like if they're like advancing past you, you should like act dead, because they're gonna be like, hell yeah, like there's dead bodies.
I feel like you're
that is so incredible.
Yeah, you're like sitting there playing Angry Birds for a little while, and some guy comes through the woods, and you're right back to like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll see if you ever look up Milsom West, you'll see a really common thing is like people will get their whole like squad together, and they'll like have like a person they killed like laying dead in front of them. And it's just like, it's one of those things, you want to do shit like that. You want to be like, oh yeah, we killed this guy. Let's all like pose and like take a picture around him or something like that.
Wow.
I know my one buddy's big thing is when he kills like friends of ours in the game, he'll go up and he'll like take selfies with their dead bodies, and it's fun.
Oh shit.
That is wild. What an awesome,
it's just like a fun like honor part of the game. Like, yeah, you got me, you did a good play. Like I'll be your sense of amusement for a little while.
So two questions in that realm, like without diving too deep into like the tech side of Airsoft. Like is there like a sniper version of Airsoft where like someone's really?
Yeah, I never even thought
and
about
that gun
that.
is different than like the gun everyone else
they'll
uses?
They'll shoot like 300-400 feet.
What?
Yeah.
How? What is the velocity?
So you could just get sniped by a guy through a scope, and he knows he hit you
in a fucking ghillie suit that you can't even see. Yeah.
Does it hurt more? That's gotta hurt if they're like closer.
Oh yeah, they have an engagement distance. So when they get within like 100 feet, they can't shoot you anymore. They have to pull like a pistol out.
Oh shit! Yeah, that makes sense. Because I'm like, dude, those things have to be firing.
Because those guns will absolutely wreck.
Because they have to be firing bigger.
I ran in front of one time as the guy was shooting, and it hit me. It does not feel good,
dude. Do you
actually? Just this weekend, I had to pop a BB out of a guy's ear.
No way, dude. Are they shooting bigger BBs?
There are slightly bigger BBs, but that's a pretty uncommon thing. That's kind of newer. They're all 6mm.
So they shoot the same BBs, but just way farther. So those things have to be hauling ass.
Oh, yeah.
So there has to be this. So second question to that. You are clearly an exceptional human being in both the way you carry yourself and in the way that you play the game for the spirit of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there like has to be some guys that are, let's say, lacking etiquette, right?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
How is the
sport.
lacking etiquette in that game policed? Is it like a crowdsourced sort of deal where like, hey, this guy's an asshole?
It's hard. It's really hard. It's actually probably part of the downfall of the sport in general. So we have refs on field, but you can only see so much. It's a BB bouncing off somebody. It's not a paint splatter, It's very easy to cheat in Airsoft. And that's sad. It's a really sad fact of the game.
Or guys that abuse it and probably just like light you up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. The amount of people that you just get shot 1,000 times before, like your hands up, you're yelling hit, and they just keep going. It's crazy. They're assholes. But
that's got to be infuriating. Like you just want to.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's just like, so you're under the adrenaline of I've been sleeping in the woods for 2 days. I've only eaten beef jerky and like water for 2 days. My legs hurt. My back hurts. I'm in like the mindset of like, these people want to kill me and I want to kill these people. Cause you're in the zone.
You're like battle mindset.
Yeah. You're in there. And this dude just wrecks the shit out of you and just keeps shooting. And it doesn't feel good. Like I said, this guy this weekend got shot in the face, right in the earlobe. And I had to pop the BB out of his earlobe because it was stuck under the skin.
Is there etiquette on like where you shoot someone?
It's one of those things like if they're wearing like a plate carrier and they got like something on their back and you're like a few feet away from them, you should hit them in like a piece of kit, something that it's not bare skin. If you can help it, try not to aim for the face because it's just it's rough, man. It doesn't feel good. That's what
you got a mask on?
I got shot in the nose this weekend.
Did you wear a mask?
You can wear a mask, but it's always gonna find a way under.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
you're talking to a golfer. This is like extreme.
Hey, we're both hitting white balls. We're both hitting white balls.
That's fair.
Making them go real far.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, it's so great because like even like thinking about that. So like then are there other types of games? Because I mean, I play Call of Duty and there's like capture the flag and hardpoint and like.
Oh yeah.
So you'll have like different stuff where like you have to play. What are they called when somebody gets taken? Oh, hostage. Like, are there hostage situations? Like,
oh yeah, that's one of my favorite types of games to play. We'll do hostage games. I like to since I ref at my field, so I will be the hostage and just make a whole spectacle out of it. Put on zip cuffs, put a black bag over my head, and scream. I'll tell the hostage takers that they can like pick me up. They'll put me in front of the window and like try to get me shot. It's a whole thing. You got to have fun with that kind of thing. And then when that like team comes in and they get to like feel like they're really breaching the door and like taking out these hostage takers, they always go crazy afterwards. They're so hyped up because it's so much fun to be able to like replicate those things. You might only see in video games, you might only see in movies, and you get to like act like you're in that situation. It's unmatched, man. It's a ton of fun, and you don't have to worry about being dead.
Yeah, dude. Well,
I gotta watch this because this has to make amazing content.
Oh, there's great Airsoft content out there. I would say Airsoft Alphonse is probably one of the more like if you're like in like an intro to like checking out Airsoft content, he's a great way to go. He did a video in Puerto Rico recently and my Puerto Rican team is actually at the same event as him. But they are, and I shit you not, this is going to sound absolutely insane. They're using diving masks and flippers underwater, infiltrating and fucking killing people from underwater.
What?
Holy fuck.
It is awesome. I tell everybody, you just got to try it, man. Like watching it doesn't do it any justice. Just reading about it doesn't do it any justice. Having someone tell you about it doesn't do it any justice. You just have to go out and play for a day. Go to a walk-on, get a rental.
What's step one for the listeners, aka myself? Like, what's step one where I'm like, all right, fuck this, I'm going airsoft this weekend?
Yeah. So you find a local place that does airsoft. Most paintball places will also do airsoft. Make sure they have rentals that you can pay for the day. It's usually not super expensive, but you don't want to do it for the long run. You want to hold on. You want to get your own gear for the long run if you're going to play a lot.
Good push.
Sure.
So you're going to figure out this field. You're going to find out when they play, find out about, when this is actually happening. And then wear like jeans, boots, depending on the time of year, t-shirt or hoodie.
Fuck that. I'm wearing a fucking leather jacket.
Well,
don't
in
recommend
95-degree weather, if you're running up a mountain, you're gonna die.
You will actually die. You're not gonna be able to drink a little water and fix yourself here.
Yeah, no, that's like I've had to deal with a lot of heat casualties, and it's fucked.
Yeah.
So yeah, just show up, get your rental gear, and then just like enjoy yourself. Talk to the people. There's a lot of really cringe people in Airsoft. I'll be the first one to tell you that. There's some weirdos. But honestly, man,
like a majority
they're
outrules the weirdos.
No, the majority is the weirdos. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
It. He's like, that's a hard
like,
no.
Nah,
Actually,
I wish it wasn't.
Most of them are weirdos.
No, airsofters are fucking weird. But you know what, man? You go out there and you talk to them for a while, and you're like, I don't know, man.
We're all
this
a
is
little
kind of
weird.
cool. Yeah, we're all fucking weird. We're playing Army on the weekends, shooting each other with BB guns, man. Like, everybody's a little weird.
Is that not like, so going back to the origin of this question, right? Like, is that not every little kid's, not every little kid, but I can think back to when I was a kid.
I know
and
exactly what you mean.
I
you used
wanted
to play Army in the Woods, man.
Yeah, like Cowboys and Indians or whatever it was. Like
Exactly.
I always was
Same
imagining playing that idea, and this is like,
and that was
relive that.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
And my buddy told me something the other day because we were talking about just like, you know, life being hard right now.
Sure.
And he said, you know, you got to get in touch with like your inner child. Do the kind of stuff you would like to do as a kid.
Yeah, like bring a little joy back into it.
That's what I do. I like to go out and sure. Oh yeah. Cause again, like I said, I work for gun companies. So my clients are like gun people, you know, and they're dudes, that big fucking muscular dudes that'll go to the range and they'll like rattle off guns all day. By the way, I do that too. I'm just not muscular. But so they talk, you know, a lot of the times they'll talk shit and be like, oh, well, you know, these fucking airsofters, like they're pretending to do this stuff. And I'm like, my man, you're going to the range. Go get you a swaller. Like, you know, like just vibe, have fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like you go to the range for 2 hours. It's on the flat range. You're going only when the weather's nice. But some of these airsofters, dude, they go out in like a few feet of snow. They'll sleep outside in that and they'll get a like real AK-47 pointed at their face while they're in a sleeping bag. Like, and by real, I mean, they bring blank fire guns out there. So real guns with a blank fire bolt in them and they'll fucking shoot them at you. Like, we do crazy stuff and it's fun. It's a great time.
I just think like you're absolutely fascinating individual and like I'm infatuated with this like this so out of left field hobby. Like if I feel like it's out of left field, it's just like, and it's so in depth. There's so much to it.
Yeah. Oh, it's way too deep.
Yeah. The other thing with Randy, and we may honestly have to do a part 2 with him because the shit that we've talked about today, random as it was and in depth as it was, is literally not even the tip of the ice. It's like a snowflake on the tip of the iceberg that is Randy. Because dude, like there are so many other things. Like he's done so many jobs, knows so many different types of people. He introduced me to a guy who thinks the earth is flat. Like I did a whole episode on it on the Jason with the J channel. Like, dude, he knows all these people. So anyway, infinitely fascinating. So Randy, we really appreciate you being on the show first and foremost, and we appreciate everything that you've done
100%.
for the graphics and
it's my pleasure.
Just, I mean, being a homie, man. I mean, you introduced me to games.
I just like
vibing. But before we let you go, one thing that we ask at the end, so it's a 2-part question.
I'm not finished this beer, so you better keep going.
Oh, dude, well, we can end the podcast and then we could still continue talking.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
Lincoln Chesterton.
Yeah, but like in the wrap up session of this, because I would like to get your thoughts on like how it all went and everything, because like you're on the other side of it. But 2 things. So 1, we're always looking for new people to talk to. And part of it is Devin and I have a pile of friends, but we also are just meeting people through our everyday lives. We just had a conversation with you. Honestly, we thought it went well. Hope you did too, but would love to get your input on basically who we should talk to next. And we're going to ask every single person so that, you know, different people from different walks of life lead us down to someone else. So ideally someone that you think would be interesting to talk to and would want to talk to us and might want to be on a podcast.
That is such a huge like array. Like you said, I know a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people.
Could be multiple too. It's just
I'll make it simple. I'll make it simpler for you. for someone like you, a lot of people might have to think about this question. Like for you, it's like, it could be the first person that comes to mind, and we run with it, knowing that we have an ongoing relationship with you that could lead to more conversations should we ask you the question again.
Yeah, who jumps off the page is like, honestly, based on what you guys are doing, this is the person.
Oh, like I said, you know, I'm friends with, I try to be friends with so many different walks of life, and what really interests me as a person, and I know it interests you as well, is just the stories, you know, the stories of these people.
100%.
And so hearing these people's stories is something that interests me a lot. So I'm friends with some really interesting people with really interesting stories. I'm sure I can send someone.
Well, yeah, well, do us a favor. Think about it. We don't need to put you on the spot, but I would say, you know, send us a list. If you want to, obviously, like, it's better if you reach out to them than if you just give us their email.
Of course,
you know?
yeah.
Make sure they would want to do it.
somebody.
And then, you know, we can reach out and schedule it.
I hate to bring it back, but I am down in my brain in a rabbit hole on this Airsoft thing. Like, I'm just imagining the battles that could be had.
Oh yeah,
on
dude, you wait until you watch a few
internationally.
videos,
like these motherfuckers are swimming in water. Like what?
Underwater. Yeah.
Well, dude, didn't you say that at one point there was like a bunch of guys that had a truck with like a machine gunny type one, or like what was?
Oh yeah, that's like pretty common now. Yeah.
Like that's a bit like
I had dude, I have pictures of my buddies firing AT-4 rocket launchers at gun trucks.
What?
Yeah. It was
What do you
awesome.
mean? Not like it's not actually blowing the truck up?
So we do chalk rounds. So it fires a projectile that's chalk. So when it hits the vehicle, it explodes in a big puff of
chalk.
Yeah. But that signifies like disabling the vehicle.
Right? Like
I would say.
It's so rad,
dude. How
it
cool
sounds
is
so
that?
lame when you talk about it, but then like
No.
when you're in the moment and you're like fighting off dudes at one angle, and your buddy stands up and fucking launches a fucking rocket,
shock
at
rocket.
a gun truck, you're just like,
Dude, so like
hell yeah.
so I think about what you're saying, and then I think about anytime, and I'll use myself as an example, right? So anytime I explain some of the things that I enjoy doing to like my girlfriend, golf being one of them. When I hear myself explaining that to someone who doesn't do it, it sounds so stupid.
Oh yeah, look
my
at
God,
that.
look at that.
That's my buddy Stumpy. We call him that because he's missing his thumb.
Oh, dude, actually, you know what? Okay, I just figured this out for a callback, and sorry, Devin, to cut you off. You are top 10,000 in the world at showing people a very clear image through a webcam from your phone. That is hard as fuck to do.
Did it come up nice?
Dude, it was
Did it come up
beautiful.
nice?
It was framed
It did.
perfectly. That should be your competition.
That's awesome.
Anyway, Devin, you were
Yeah, sure.
you were talking about explaining golf and sounding.
No, I was just saying, like, a lot of times I think when you try to explain things to people who have never done them, significant others being an example, like mid-explanation, you're like, wow, this sounds really stupid, right? And I'll use a personal one. Like, I try to explain golf to someone who doesn't play golf. It sounds so stupid until you kind of do it, and like you have that moment of like you hit a golf ball pretty well for the first time, and you're like, and you see that look on that person's face, and you're like, yeah, now you kind of get it. Now do it over and over again for 4 hours for 18 holes, right? Like that's where the gratification comes from. And like, same thing. You explain to someone, oh, we play make-believe battle with BB guns. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And it's like, no, like,
cool, man.
try it. And then like, in the heat of battle, you're like, this is fucking super epic.
Well, yeah, so my buddy just got back from basic training for the Army. And he comes back and he's like, you guys always talk about Airsoft. I really want to try it out because, like, you know, I'm engrossed in this mindset right now and I just want more. I want to like try this and see like if it's as crazy as you want. He came back this week because he played on Sunday and he's like, that was fucking awesome. And I was like, now you get it. Now I can like frame every story as that feeling you had there. Imagine that, but you're firing a rocket launcher at a vehicle. Like,
dude, and what
like these crazy things.
Dude, here's what bums me out the most about this. And Devin, it's kind of tied to what you were talking about. Because if you, Devin, are explaining golf to me, who also plays golf, there are situations that you can explain that will mean so much because I play golf. That, like, if you're telling it to Randy, who doesn't play golf, and you're like, oh my God, dude, buddy, like,
understand.
I was short-sighted on this green. It was pitched away from me. It was rolling like a 13. You know, no one has, like, if you don't have the concept. So, like, Randy, when you're telling these stories, it's like, there have to be so many, because, like, chalk rockets just sound awesome. Like, a lot of this stuff sounds so cool, but, like, there are probably things that are not even worth explaining to us because it would be totally lost on us. But it's like, how cool, like, I wish that I knew more about it. Like, like a superpower is like, I kind of wish that in this moment, I could have just remembered playing Airsoft for 10,000 hours so that when you tell me a very specific story about it, I could fully appreciate it.
I gotta send you guys this video we took because we play at this abandoned prison, which is, by the way, awesome,
amazing.
Like the setting of these battles has to be exceptional.
Oh man, I literally can't even begin to describe the cool places I've played at. But so we played at this abandoned prison and we were doing this like hostage rescue thing. So we got a guy in a room with a girl in a chair and he's like holding the gun to her, like telling us not to come in. And we put a camera on the girl in the chair to like see what this looked like. So we throw a grenade into this room and it explodes and all this lead paint falls off the ceiling. It's a like dilapidated prison. All this lead paint just falls all over everything as we all just come through this door and just wreck this dude. And it was just awesome. Oh my God. So I got to send you guys this video to watch.
Please do.
It was so cool. I don't think you can put it on the thing because of,
no.
Right.
Guns.
Because you're
we'll keep it on the DL.
Because someone now has lead poisoning.
Oh, definitely. I got this.
All of you, like,
too, man. I got mesothelioma.
Yeah.
I'm going to volunteer for an airsoft hostage situation, and now I'm showered in lead paint.
Yeah, right? Like just lead dust
Things
everywhere.
You didn't plan for.
This is what we do as a hobby.
Dude, that's so cool. I just remember hearing about it for the first time. And even now I'm just like, because I didn't know, like I knew about the trucks that shot. I didn't know about the chalk rockets. And I just think you need to call them that. Can you please like change?
Chalk rockets?
Chalk rockets, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll call them chalk rockets. I didn't even tell you about my buddy who got to shoot a machine gun out of a helicopter.
What?
In airsoft?
Yeah.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah. We bring out helicopters.
A fucking helicopter.
We bring out these helicopters for these games, and you can pay a little bit extra on your ticket to sit in the helicopter and be a fucking door gunner.
What? Shooting airsoft BBs out of a flying helicopter.
And wrecking people on the ground from a fucking helicopter.
Dude, that is just sounds amazing.
Dude.
Like, I wish I could pay to do just
rad
that.
As fuck. Yeah.
Like, could I do that?
But you can. Yeah, you can just do that. Yeah.
How much would that cost for me to do that?
I think it was $70 extra on top of the ticket.
How much is the ticket price?
Like $100.
Oh my God. $170 to shoot people with BBs from a helicopter?
Because I guess you have 200 people paying that, right?
What?
200 times 100.
Well, you have 200 people.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
trying to figure out the cost of the
that.
helicopter.
Oh, no, they just kind of do it.
What do you mean they just gonna? That has to be expensive.
I think the helicopter people just enjoy it, to be honest.
Oh yeah, they could honestly.
So it's like a volunteer helicopter pilot.
I don't think it's
like,
volunteer, but I think the price is very low.
Well,
like for the
I would say
because helicopter rides, Dev, are like you can if you're touring like Hawaii or something, it's like a couple $100 each. Like I guess it's not that actually that expensive. So yeah.
And it's not that long. You're up there for maybe like 20 minutes, probably.
Dude, 20 minutes?
20 minutes when you're like wrecking people from a helicopter. That feels like an hour.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Think about this, like super basic math. Being the mathematician in the group,
obviously,
like if you got somewhere between 200 to 300 people on each team, is that correct?
Yeah.
So you're bringing in at $100 a guy. You're bringing in 50.
Not
grand.
everybody will do it.
No, but I'm saying the fee to play the airsoft.
The gate's
game.
like $50K.
Oh, like the game in. Oh, well, yeah, but then there's also insurance, buying renting out the field.
Sure.
Insurance again.
Insurance has got to be through the roof.
Yeah, I don't even know how you
Yeah.
Jason, how do you begin to quantify the risk of a 50,000 acre property with 600 people running around with airsoft guns, and there might be chalk rockets in a helicopter?
Yeah. Oh, and they are very likely
nightmare.
to freeze to death.
Dude, yeah, honestly, that would be an
yeah.
actuarial nightmare. That would just, there's no,
Holy shit.
there's no way to model something like that. Like, that's like a hope for the best and charge them like $20K, and you limit your policy to like only really shitty things that will never apply and call it a day.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And if the
it's
helicopter
bad.
crashes, chalk rocket hits someone in the face and someone takes a BB to the eye, you're fucked.
So we wear mesh. We'll wear like metal mesh lower face, but not everybody does. So we'll wear like this like metal mesh here. My buddy took a chalk round to the face, and it dented the mesh inward. Like they're no joke. They
took a shot. Like, are these
don't
like
wanna hit-
like potato gun type situations? Like, what do you?
Actually, kind of. Yeah, it shoots green gas, which is propane with lubricant. It's you load it up with propane, and you launch a chalk round out of the
chalk
tube.
rocket. Dude, that's so
It's
great.
like it's basically a potato gun.
I might need to go on eBay and get me one of these chalk rockets.
Look up tag-in launcher. That's what they're called.
Dude, I mean, honestly, like,
I'm just gonna eBay chalk rocket and see what
chalk rocket. Nah, I am actually kind of curious if I look up chalk rocket. Oh, something bad's probably gonna happen, huh?
Yeah, here, look it up. Tag-in
Chalk rockets.
Randy,
Wait a minute,
This has been
dude. There's this thing called chalk rockets for for kids. What are these things?
sure. Probably they shoot them at a sidewalk and it makes a abstract painting on the sidewalk.
Exploding chalk rockets. Oh my god, dude! I kind of want to make a chalk rocket. Oh yeah, because it's got to just be like
training, smoke generating capsule.
Yeah, cornstarch. God, you need film canisters, cornstarch, water, food coloring, Alka-Seltzer, and safety goggles, and you make chalk rockets. Dude, tremendous.
I mean, all things considered, it's $125 for 10 of them.
What's that?
It's $125 for 10 of them. It ain't even that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're getting $50K from the field. Your insurance costs, which I'm sure the policies are limited to like death.
Yeah.
Because like they're not paying for it, because you're waiving like medical rights, I'm sure, and like all sorts of.
I mean, basically, your whole thing is make sure I don't get sued for the entire person's like. Because I mean, you know, you sign waivers for everything.
Sure.
Like you sign a lot of waivers. Because obviously, you know, you might like die.
Yeah.
So
you could, yeah. I mean, well, then, and also, I mean, like people could get very hurt. They could sue the whole place and like make the whole thing insolvent at that point. Because like one bodily injury, like you're paying $70K. And
airsofters are usually actually pretty cool about that. Like they'll like dislocate their arm and be like, no, it's fine. Like don't even worry about it, dude. I'm fine. Just put me in an ambulance.
You drink the magical water and you're back to good, man. Like that's all you need.
Yeah.
I had this, probably just cans of Mountain Dew.
Obviously.
Probably. It's honestly for us, it's liquid IV. Like we love liquid IV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But so I had this kid. He couldn't have been more than 15 at the field that I ref at. This kid dislocates his leg.
His leg?
On a field. So he's laying on the ground, and the ambulance is there. And he's like, everything's fine. I can't move my leg, but I'm good. I just need to go to the hospital. And kid's like 15. He's just chilling.
He's just hanging out.
He's like, it hurts. It's going the wrong direction.
Yep.
I just need to get to the hospital.
That is absurd.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, because the thing
Poor
is,
kid.
when you started explaining this, it sounded really cool, and I'd heard you talk about it before and saw photos and videos and stuff.
Yeah, I talk about it pretty much all the time because it's something I
You're always getting new gear. We're scoping out, but like the idea that all of these other things, these ancillary things, come into play makes it expand. Because like when you first start thinking about it, you're like, oh, this is paintball but with BBs, but then it's like so much more than just. I mean, I guess it could, in theory, like you could have the paintball but with BBs, but like the way that you guys do it is just a totally different brand, and like that's cool, man. Then like just these huge weekend events, hanging out with the homies, and the coolest part is like you're hanging out with a bunch of people who all love the same thing. Like that's I think probably maybe the coolest part. Yeah, it's like going to a golf tournament.
You get to go out and you're around people.
No,
with
it's
similar
way,
interests.
way cooler than that. Like I'm looking at some of these videos, it's way cooler.
Watching the videos right now.
Like these motherfuckers are walking in the snow with a poncho. Find me golfers that are doing that.
You're watching my night mission walk. Yeah. Oh, that video is fun, dude. Yeah, that's at the prison. When you walk around, you'll see. When you look around that video, you'll see that's at the prison.
I'm about to get my fucking gear and go.
Dude, I'll bring you out, dude. You come to Pennsylvania, I'll take you where
Dude, honestly, Devin, we should do like that. Would be fun as fuck.
Absolutely should come out and do that with me. It would be awesome.
I would 1,000% do it.
You should.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It just sounds incredible.
It's way more fun than you could even imagine.
And we would probably fit in all your stuff because I'm like a 6'2" bear, and Devin, what are you, Devin? Like 5'11", 6 foot?
I'm offended that you started with 5, so let's.
I'm really mad that you're both.
Well, how tall are you though?
I'm every bit of 6.
Are you? Why didn't I
think
think you were 6 feet tall?
Incredibly, I don't know, but shape up and fix it.
I'm 5'6".
He's 5'6".
That's okay. I'm every bit of 6, and I am an incredibly muscular 226.
Oh yeah, just chiseled beyond.
I weigh 138 pounds.
Dude, Devin, Randy, when
they don't call me Bones for nothing.
Yeah, when Devin first got on video, I literally thought he bought like a statue of David replica and just had it sitting there, and it was him. Yeah. It was him the whole time. I was like, "Whoa, that's you actually, and not a statue."
Point me. Is the gun range that way?
Wow,
or that way,
dude, you're gonna get us taken off of all the platforms. Those things probably aren't registered.
Well, they're not. I'm in Illinois, so you can't fucking register any guns.
Oh, there you go.
They do mortar launchers too.
That's just.
Oh my God.
Are those chalk? What are they?
Is that a chalk thing?
I think they do chalk, but they also do they hit the ground and on impact a bunch of BBs come out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is even better than I imagined.
Yeah, like every time you bring up a new weapon you guys have, I'm like, there's no way that's not real, right? But it is every time.
Sadly, it is. We are a bunch of nerds in a basement. That's creating random gun shit.
You had me at nerd with Run Escape.
Run Escape.
Oh yeah.
It totally lost me at nerd when we're shooting fucking mortars covered in BBs. It's not.
Yeah.
You lose nerd when that's.
Oh, they're nerds, man. They're nerds.
That's valid.
They might be nerds, but the
weenies,
fucking BBs ain't
you got
nerdy.
Your meal team 6s. It's.
I love a good meal. Is there a squadron chef? Because I'll load my rucksack with a damn camping stove and I'll cook up a meal for all the fellas.
Yeah, we bring the camping stove. Usually it's MREs or you ever seen the Mountain House meals at Walmart?
Oh, buddy, I used to live on hiking trails. Yeah,
we eat a lot of those
for sure.
But a lot of the times it's trail mix and beef jerky.
Wait, what's a Mountain House meal?
Sad. It's a
pour steaming water in it
meal.
and you get mac and cheese.
Yep. Yeah, mac and cheese or chicken dumpling soup, chicken
Like
teriyaki.
so, Jason, think very simply. It's dehydrated food that if you pour hot water into, it rehydrates whatever is
and it's just great.
in the packet.
Oh, wow. I could actually go for that right now.